Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist. And today I want to talk to y'all for just a minute about the concept of femininity and masculinity. Of course, it's consistently talked about all the time anyway, but I really want to talk about it a little bit. So let's get into it. Let's define gender first. So, gender is the male sex or the female sex, especially when considered with references to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones, or one of a range of other identities that do not correspond to established idea of male, female. Simpler definition, gender refers to the characteristics of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. What is a social construct? Well, it is a concept that exists not in objective reality, but as a result of human interaction. Basically, a social construct is an idea that has been created and accepted by the people in a society. And this is specifically why a social construct can vary from society to society and can change over time. Just a quick, very basic level example of how gender can alter things over time. Prior to the 1950s, the color pink was not a girly, feminine color. In fact, pink was for boys. So we attributed a specific gender to a color. We gave a color a gender. That's what we did. We did. So you see the color switch, something very basic. The color. There are men today who will not wear pink because it is considered a feminine color. But prior to 1950, they would have because it was considered a masculine color. So back to our definitions. Feminine means having qualities or an appearance traditionally associated with women or girls. And of course, masculine is just the opposite, qualities or attributes regarded as characteristics of men or boys. All right, so next, the sociocultural theory of cognitive development explores the influence the world has on individual development. So basically, the influence every part of the world has on who we become. All the different things that influence us as human beings, as individuals, fall under the sociocultural theory of cognitive development. So I mentioned that because I need people to really understand that gender, these are all learned behaviors. We are influenced towards a certain way of being. That means that what we attribute to femininity, what we attribute to masculinity is not innate. If you were to take a baby and not show them any television, not influence them by certain toys, not do anything, just let them grow. Let them grow. Make sure they're safe, make sure they're fed, make sure they're clothed, but clothed in neutral colors at all times. Neutral colors, neutral clothing. What would be innate to them? What would they become? What would they naturally become? That's what I want y'all to think about because gender is a social construct, meaning it is learned. It is not innate. Now, what got me here today? Well, again, I was scrolling the Twitter streets and I came across a post of Tyler James Williams. He plays on Abbott Elementary, and y'all know him best as Everybody Hates Chris. Chris from Everybody Hates Chris. He's a grown man now and a very good looking one, I might add. But anyway, he was on the Jennifer Hudson show. She has a talk show. You know, he was talking, he was sitting on the couch with her, just laid back, kind of legs crossed, chilling. And some of the Twitter comments brought me here to this topic. All right, so in regards to Tyler, there was a tweet where a black man was saying, basically saying, I love the marriage between Tyler's masculine and feminine energy. And people were in the comments like, yep, he's very comfortable in it. He's assured, he's assertive, he's comfortable in his skin, and he exudes both. To which other commenters began, questioning his sexuality. Like, yeah, I see it. I see the feminine stuff in there. So people were legit in the comments questioning his sexuality. And I was like, this is so, one, typical, but so ridiculous because gender is a social construct. And there is the idea of balance. So that's why I wanted to talk about masculinity versus femininity, because we seem to put these two concepts on extreme ends, meaning if you are a man, you are masculine. There should be nothing feminine about you. And if you are a woman, you are feminine. There should be nothing masculine about you. And this is insane, solely based on the qualities that we attribute to masculinity and femininity. So I'm going to put some up on the screen to show y'all what we actually attribute to these two concepts. And then we're going to figure out why being a blend of the two is not the goal. Okay, so did y'all see that was just an example of traditional gender stereotypes that our sociocultural dynamic have created. Did y'all pause to actually read what was on each list? Because when you pause to read that, there are things on both sides that every productive human being should have. There is no way anyone should lean very heavily towards one side and not have anything from the other. For example, on the feminine side of that list, it said sensitive to others' feelings. The masculine side was the opposite. How is that not something that we should be striving towards? That's what empathy is. So, what that's telling me is men are not empathetic, nor should they be, because that's a feminine trait. And then on the feminine side, you have emotional, of course. And on the masculine side, you have logical. You cannot be too much of either of those things. If you are too logical, you are going to come off as cold and heartless, and all you care about is the analytical side of things. If you are too emotional, you usually don't know how to emotionally regulate and manage your emotions well, and that's another problem. So, why is it that we aren't trying to find the balance between the two? Another one. Stereotypically, women are considered to be more talkative. So being too talkative is feminine, and not at all talkative is more masculine. Okay, that one right there, I know some talkative men. I have known some talkative men my whole life. So yeah, I don't even know why that would be in the stereotypes, but it is. But problem with the men who do fall too far into that masculine side, like I'm reserved or I'm not gonna talk. Communication goes awry. If you don't talk, there are several areas in your life where you will fail because communication is necessary, from your romantic relationships to your parent child relationships to your work relationships. You have to talk. So, why isn't there just a balance? So, you see, no matter what list you Google to tell you feminine and masculine traits, these are going to encompass things that we all need to be balanced in. So I basically say all these things to ask the question of you all, particularly to men or those who are masculine presenting. What is the fear of tapping in to your feminine traits and energy? What's the fear? I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that part of the fear is being questioned. No one wants to be questioned in a lot of areas, but most men definitely don't want to be questioned about their sexuality. There's a fear there about that. Now, men who are comfortable in their skin don't care. Like Tyler, you can sense that he's very comfortable in his skin. He doesn't care. You can question it all you want. He knows what he is. He seems comfortable in his skin, and that's all that matters. But is there an innate fear of femininity? Is there an innate fear of the nurturing? I mean, because here's the thing. For all the men out there who are dads, you don't want to be nurturing. Like that's solely supposed to be on women because we're feminine. Nurturing children is important. Having that nurture from a male figure is also very important. So, like, where is the fear? Where is the fear? And then some of the things that we attribute to femininity, I'm just, because somebody in the comments was like, well, look how he got his legs crossed. His legs crossed, like, but yeah, some of the things we attribute to gender and femininity and all of the things we attribute to femininity, masculinity, and gender are ideas that have become the norm over time that can change. Just like I told y'all, the color pink changed, and the roles that are played in a family dynamic have changed. You have two income households now because we can't afford not to. Both of us gotta work because we can't afford life out here. The rent too damn high. But anyway, both and. There's a thing in life called balance. We are always, or at least should always, be striving for a balance. It should not ever lean too far one way or the other. And that goes for a lot of realms. We remove all nuance, all gray areas, all possibilities of balance and harmony when we lean too much one way. So try to tap into both sides. You have to have a mixture of both. That's it and that's all. And there's nothing wrong with it. And there's really nothing wrong with it because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's all a social construct. So y'all have a very good rest of the day, and I'll talk to y'all later.